I totally get your point, man, because there was a lot of stuff that, a lot of crazy ass groundbreaking stuff that I consider groundbreaking, and it's like when I first laid my eyes on a issue of X-Men or something,
Hmm.
and it was like, man, this is that jam. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it
And then you
is.
start learning the history of the comics and how long they've been around. It's like, you obviously when you get older, you really learn how there's nothing new under the sun, et cetera, et cetera. But
Right.
man, you know, I think being born and existing is great, man. Not to be on some hippie, saying kumbaya thing, whatever, man. But that it's crazy even more because I don't know what it is about our generation, man, but we have like this connection, and it's not just because nostalgia or whatever, but our memories. And I don't know if it's just on anybody else, out there. Obviously, there's tons of people that's gonna be like, oh yeah, I could recall a memory real vividly. I could tell you the smell and such and such. But it's like, yeah, when you say like, my God, it's like what I was telling you earlier about like how you're telling my life. I remember quite a bit, man, of family memories or whatever and commercials, and it's like, yo, why is my mind bogged with all this shit? where's,
Right.
where's the recycle bin on this? But you asked me about something that happened last week or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah. No. Like, because I realize once anything, the first time of anything, you're gonna always remember. Like you always remember. You'll remember the first time that you tried out something that significant. Like, you may not remember the first time you had pizza, but you remember your first pizza shop that you frequent. You get what I'm saying? Like, you may not remember your first video. You may not remember your first video game system, or some people do. A lot of people do. Or better yet, you may not remember your first game, the first game that you actually played, but you'll definitely remember the first
oh man, you
console.
telling the wrong dude. I remember all that, bro. I could
um,
tell you Atari 2600. The first game I played was Kangaroo. Let me stop.
Kangaroo,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
I, I I actually have a Atari. I think it's. I don't think I brought it here, but I have it, and my brother, it, he does like basement cleaning, um, and no, was it? Yeah, it was my brother. Yes, he did basement cleaning, and on my 25th birthday, he was just like, "Yo, I found this, and I know you collect now, so you don't have to search for it." Which has Atari, all the controllers for racing, Pong, everything, you name it. And then it's a slot full of games, including a copy of ET.
Oh God. Yo.
And I am never selling it.
Yo. He says that like it's the greatest thing. Yo, that shit was the most confusing thing for me ever.
ET was horrible.
ET
It was,
was.
but they buried it. Did you see that
Yo.
documentary? No, they bought they manufactured so many copies of that shit, and then
Yo,
they buried it somewhere.
yo, it's like thank God for the internet to confirm things like this, man, because I would have never believed it otherwise, man. But
A game so bad you had to bury it. You paid more. Like, you lost money making it, and you lost even more money burying it. And there were so many fucking units on there.
that they
Uh,
didn't
uh,
sell.
yeah, and geez, and in my head, watching this documentary and just looking back when I first saw it, I was like, damn, if I ever make a comic, I really hope this is this is
This ain't it.
not. And I really hope I don't have to do that, where I make so many copies that I lost money making it, and then I lose money, even more money burying it.
Damn. I couldn't imagine such a thing like that, man.
And you know what? But then again, I'm also glad because now it is a treasure.
Mm.
It's a national treasure. No way. I don't think anyone knows where they actually buried it. Um if it's if they took it out, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
actually, there is. I think there's a video on YouTube about them actually doing the whole excavation. Yo,
Yeah, the excavate. Oh man.
yo,
So,
legit. Yeah, it's no wonder why like stuff is just crazily, thought out. And I guess you have your team of consultants or whatever, and the production team or whatever, and everything's so massively
right, right.
overly thought. It gotta mean success, man. Nobody
Eh,
wants to do that.
yeah, nobody that is a nightmare. Like, nobody wants to deal with that. But then but also that caused a little bit of fear within me, you know, like maybe I shouldn't go through with this. And then I'm like, yo, fuck it. If it's bad, they have to read it once. All they have to do is read it once.
Right. Or just pass it
So
on.
like, I'm kind of it. I mean, even movies that are so terrible, they get noticed. Either they get noticed to be the worst or they get noticed to be the best.
For
You
real.
know, nobody likes to be stuck in the middle or in limbo. Like, I think that's worse, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, like freaking art, man, is just subjective, man. One movie that you consider to be the best is gonna be, somebody
yeah,
else might think crazy. Otherwise, whatever what it is, man. To each their
and
own and everything.
exactly. So that's why,
That is bad though.
yeah, it. Like I love terrible movies sometimes. So like, yo, this plot is horrible, but if it made me laugh, it made me like emote to it
Oh
in
my
some
god.
sort of way, then I will enjoy it.
Yeah, dude. I heard y'all going off on Instagram live about the whole Mortal
Oh,
Kombat thing.
oh man, yeah,
That's an
no,
episode right there.
yeah, oh man, I forgot the title. Yeah, it's getting cold in here.
Yo, clowns, clowns. And it's like, man, this movie here, this franchise never is never. I just feel like it will have its day, whatever, man. But it was like, yo, I'll be truthfully and honest, straight up, man. There's just some things I won't see, man, and I see it coming from a mile away. I'm like, yo, that's not for me. So I went into the Instagram live that y'all were talking, whatever, and I'm just like literally posting nonsense, and I'm like, holy shit, I was right.
Yep. Oh, you didn't even see it yet?
I didn't even see it, yo.
Oh man.
And that's just the way my mind works sometimes, man. I'm like, damn, I don't have to be a grump about it or whatever and shit about everything that comes out or whatever. But damn, bro, it's just I guess the level and point that Hollywood, got it down to a science almost. Like I guess a level of predictability and cheesy is good,
Right.
but it's like tipping the scales like to anything, man. You fucking with the recipe, man. And I don't think they haven't got it down right with that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yeah. And I saw it like in the trailers. I'm like, okay, there's certain things that look cool, but I heard from you guys there's just a lot wasn't done
I,
justice.
right.
You
I,
know,
I feel like I feel like just because you're professional at a certain thing doesn't mean that you're going to care about every project that you step on. Like, I'm the same way when it comes to commissions sometimes. Like, you get paid to do this certain thing and you know that you have the gumption and you have the skill to do it. You may not care for it as much because it doesn't give you that spark, right? So mm, so pretty much, what in my head, how a cash grab would work is to get a IP, get get a franchise that is popular for millions, and say, okay, get a bunch of people on the team who are kind of half and half. They're very skillful at telling the story, but this is not the story that they're passionate about. Everybody has a passion project, and you can tell who is not passionate about what. Like, you can tell by the costumes. You're just here. You're just getting paid. This is pretty much work. But like, for example, Mortal Kombat. Oh, well, this year's Mortal Kombat versus Machinima's Mortal Kombat Legacy. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Watch that.
Yeah.
It's a great series, 2 seasons, and you will not be disappointed. And you could tell which one has the most passion. They're sticking to the stick.
Wait, what's the name of that one though?
Legacy.
Legacy. That's I've heard of it actually. I'll be
It's on
honest with you.
YouTube.
And I heard a lot more
And
dedication and yeah, went into that.
right. So it's the same thing with the Street Fighter movies. Cash grab. Why? Because Street Fighter was a big franchise back in the day. They tried doing other live action movies like the Rise of Chun Li, the story of Chun Li, whatever about Chun Li, and it just like nobody cared, and we all knew because it wasn't all Street Fighter, you know,
Right.
and you just kind of knew what to avoid, like you said before. But if you see the passion projects, which once again, YouTube, Machinima, uh, Street Fighter, Assassin's Fist, like crazy title. They could have just
Yeah.
called it alpha, like pre-alpha,
Nah.
or you know,
I think I did.
pre.
I think the Street Fighter fans, especially in particular, had enough with the long titles or whatever. Maybe they're just really trying to find a way to obviously set it apart.
Right.
But
Like
maybe that ain't it.
like prelude to Street Fighter Zero, aka Alpha, -1. I would have taken Street Fighter -1. I could have
We're going integers, bro.
but yeah, man. Assassin's Fist was amazing. It was an amazing series, and they put in what they could with like money and so on and so forth, and everybody looked cool. There was way too many 80s fighting montages for me, but at the same time, I also love Best of the Best. You know? Yeah, yeah.
Yo, you're too much.
But at the same time, at the same time, it was really cool to see that because
Oh my god, were you a Bloodsport fan?
Not as much as I was for Best of the Best. I rather watch Best of the Best over Bloodsport, but I would watch them both back to back. I don't care. Best of the Best first.
They complement each other.
Yeah, I like if you want to see like a 80s fighting movie, like it'd be Best of the Best, Bloodsport, Rocky, all of them. Pop it, Tommy. Pop it. Pop it.